In this episode, we find one of Scotland's best standing stones. We explore the delights of Hushinish. We travel the Golden Road. And we go in search of golden eagles. And much, much more. And as we crossed from Berneray to Harris, something told us that the weather would have quite a lot in store for us. Just over an hour later, we found ourselves arriving in Leverborough. And as you can see, the weather was far from welcoming. We've always believed in using rainy days wisely, so we spent some time driving around the island just to get some bearings and make a plan for when the weather was better. St Clement's Church was built in the 15th century for the chiefs of the MacLeods of Harris, and it is dedicated to Pope St Clement. The church is built from Lewisian complex. The footprint forms a crucifix in shape, and it's worth noting that the medieval carvings within the church are thought to be the finest in the Outer Hebrides. Alistair MacLeod, 8th chief, had a wall tomb dedicated to himself. It's thought that this wall tomb is possibly the best example of its kind in Scotland and can be found on the south side of the choir. The church houses many graves which entomb various members of the MacLeod family, as does the graveyard outside. In more recent times, the church has played host to the BBC cast and crew of Call the Midwife for the filming of their 2019 Christmas special. As the day drew to a close, we had high hopes for what the weather would have in store for us the following day. Next morning, we were blessed with a beautiful blue sky and a brisk breeze. Morning everyone, and reaches from the sunny MacLeod Stone. So we couldn't resist a visit to the MacLeod Standing Stone. Being synonymous with the MacLeod family, we were keen to know more. The MacLeods are related to the Stuarts of Appin, who just happen to be ancestors of Doug's family. The stone dates back to the Neolithic period and is arguably one of the best in Scotland. The route can be accessed from the road and is just a short walk along the beach and up a small hillock. As the sun shone, the stone cast some amazing shadows, and the views across Seilebost absolutely spectacular. A standout for us was the rich and diverse flora and fauna of Harris. The Macaire, as it's known, is its Gaelic name. It's a delicate, rich dune grassland which provides vital grazing and shelter for breeding birds. It's considered to be one of Europe's rarest habitats. Everything from marsh orchids, Yorkshire foggrass, buttercups, lady's bedstraw, sorrel and knapweed can be found here. Birds such as curlews, plovers and lapwings readily nest here too. As the clouds thickened once again, we headed for the Isle of Scalpay. We had a very special destination in mind. Eilean Glas Lighthouse is thought to be one of the earliest examples of a lighthouse in Scotland. It was built in 1824 and was automated in 1978. The only way to access the lighthouse is via a 2-kilometre trail from the out end of Scalpay. Parking is minimal, so please be mindful of this. site is rich in history, ranging from Alan Stevenson's pair of keepers' houses to the fog signal which was added in the early 20th century. The fog signal dates from 1907 and was powered by compressed air. It was operational until 1978. The small round tower that you see adjacent to the more modern lighthouse is the original lighthouse, which was first lit in 1789. It was then replaced in 1824 with the red and white structure still seen. If you're in need of sustenance, why not call in at the Lighthouse Cafe? The coffee and cake are delicious. As we left Scalpay, the skies seemed to brighten once more, so we headed for the magnificent Golden Road. The Golden Road does not get its name from its beautiful picturesque landscapes, but from that of the cost of building such a road. The exact cost is undisclosed, but it's thought to be a significant sum. The light was ever changing, and we enjoyed the view so much we drove the road in both directions, soaking up every ounce of its beauty. We were certainly spoiled. from beautiful views to rich mac air to seals basking in the sun. On our way back to our Seilebost base, we couldn't resist calling in at Luskentyre Beach. A beach walk would be the perfect way to end the day. Luskentyre Beach is probably one of the most celebrated beaches on Harris. Certainly the sea and the sky depict the atmosphere, and it changes from moment to moment. Whilst on Harris, we based ourselves at Seilebost School. After the school closed in 2013, the West Harris Trust transformed it into a community space with beautifully clean facilities and electric hookup for a small number of vehicles. The site is unmanned, so booking has to be done via the West Harris Trust website. At low tide, the beaches of Luskentyre and Seilebost conjoin and can be walked in unison with each other. The expanse of sand is utterly breathtaking. Despite the foreboding skies, we were excited about the day ahead, and what a day it turned out to be. first destination of the day was to head to Hushinish and its celebrated beach. Hushinish is completely delightful. What a beautiful beach. We couldn't wait to explore, and as you'll see, the atmospheric sky just added to the beauty of the whole place. There are park-ups at Hushinish, and very inviting they look too. The facilities at Hushinish Gateway also look very clean, smart and tidy. I can't wait to return to the Outer Hebrides and actually stay here. As we moved on, we were hopeful yet doubtful we would get to see what we were really wanting to see. But as you'll hear, we were very pleasantly surprised. We're really excited for this one. We are on our way to the Eagle Observatory. So we'll bring you back.
golden eagle observatory. Sorry, we'll bring you back when we get there. Glen is absolutely beautiful. So lucky we've got a lovely breeze. So how lucky were we? We've actually spotted an eagle this afternoon. That was so not expected. So worth a visit.
Like many of the beaches of Harris, Scarritster is utterly charming. The colours are mesmerising and the sand is golden and inviting, and we couldn't resist just a little donder along the sand to end the day with. And before we knew it, it was time to leave Harris and head for the delights of Lewis. Join us in the next episode as we explore the rich history of Lewis and how living in Scotland has changed over time. And I learn how my Yorkshire roots are intrinsically linked to saving the tweed industry. If you've liked our content, then please like and subscribe.